What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast. And today, I thought I'd do a 143 scale review, which I haven't done in a while. I got this one for €13 and 50 cents, which is a really good deal for a Premium X model that usually go for 25 and above. And it's a model of an iconic car in a great color to boot. A red Mazda RX-8. I actually wanted to get a 124 version of this car because Motormax made that one, but the only one I could find was in gray, and when I saw it in a local store, it had some panel gap issues around the hood, and it was more expensive than this one, so I went with this red 143 instead. And even though nothing opens on this one, it has more photo-etched details, as you are about to see. So let's get it out of the box. So here it is, the Mazda RX-8. This car was made from 2003 to 2012 and is the successor of the RX-7, which is kind of interesting because the RX-7 was a full-on two-seat sports car, while this is a 2+2. I wouldn't say Grand Tourer since it is meant for the city. They made over 190,000 RX-8s during its 9-year production run. So it was a pretty successful car, possibly even the most successful rotary-engined vehicle ever made. Because, just like the RX-7, this is a car powered by a Wankel rotary with up to 238 horsepower if you got the manual, or just 189 if you got the automatic. When production ended in 2012, it was in fact the last rotary engine car made for the mass market. And therefore, there is something iconic about the RX-8 to this day. So taking a look at the front of the 143 scale Mazda RX-8, you can see that the front looks very much like the real car, and I also like the amount of detail that they put into the front emblem, which is a photo-etched three-dimensional piece that has been placed as a decal onto the hood. So the Mazda symbol looks really nice. And underneath we have a pre-Brexit UK license plate saying SA53ALF, flanked by 2 air intakes. And if you take a look at the headlights, these are also done pretty nicely in the sense that they don't have any pegs in them. You can make out the individual bulbs inside, and the housing is also painted in silver, which I think is also like that on the real car. So overall, this looks very nice. As we move on to the hood, you can see that it has that iconic V-shaped sort of engine-shaped bump, because the engine is also shaped kind of like a V inside, or at least the engine cover. Of course, you can't open it. And then we have the windshield wipers here, which are separate pieces and look okay. And then if we take a look at the mirrors, you can see that the mirrors are also done pretty nicely. They've got like the two-tone red and black. Taking a look at the side of the Mazda RX-8, as you can see, this is a 4-door car, but the rear passenger doors are really small, kind of like on a pickup truck, but even smaller than those on an F-150 or a Silverado. Now, these are coach doors that open outward, and Mazda calls them freestyle doors. Right over here, we have the fuel filler cap, and then we have the little vent here behind the front fender. And if we take a closer look at the wheels, you can see that we actually have Mazda logos here. I don't know if I can see this. And behind it, we have silver brake discs that are also perforated and have a really good amount of detail, although we don't have brake calipers. However, the brake discs don't move with the wheels and are stationary, as you can see. Taking a look at the back of the 143 scale Mazda RX-8, I actually think that the back has even more detail than the front, because you can see that we have a lot of photo-etched pieces here. We're going to start with the Mazda lettering to the left, Then of course we have the logo in the middle and RX-8 on the right. These taillights also look really nice and resemble the ones on the real car very well. There's no pegs in them, and you can see that we have this circular red reverse light, and then we have these 3 rows of DRLs, I suppose. So they look really nice, although they could have used maybe a tiny bit more shading. Underneath we have another UK license plate. This one, however, has like the more traditional looking yellow license plate. And we have 2 exhausts. And now let's check out the interior of the Mazda RX-8. And you can see we get recessed labeled instrument gauges on this 143, which is amazing, and the steering wheel is two-tone. The Mazda logo on the middle unfortunately seems to have been stuck upside down, but it is difficult to see into the interior of this 143 anyway. The seats also have red seat backs, and this also extends to the door cards. Looking at the headrests, you can see they have a shape in the middle like the cross-section of a rotary engine, which has been replicated here on the model as well. Here's a closer look at the back seats. And you can see the rear door handle is also modeled. That little bump there on the rear window is actually the fixture for a little handle on the inside that allows you to push forward and tilt the window a bit to let some air in, because the rear passenger windows can't be rolled down on the RX-8. And here's a look from the back. Now checking out the passenger's side, there's a better look at that center console. Just looks like it's a sticker though. And there's the stick shift. And that paper cutter kind of thing behind it is the parking brake. And taking a look at the bottom of the car, you can see it says Mazda RX-8 143, made in China, Premium X. We got a little bit of silver painted exhaust system here with a muffler and then the 2 exhausts. That's about it. So I hope you guys liked my review of the 143 scale Mazda RX-8. I think it looks great in this color, and I'm quite happy with the level of detail on this 143 scale car, especially for this price. This was a great buy, I think. If you're interested in more 143 scale reviews, you might as well check out these cars here. Take care. This is Imperial Diecast, signing out.